Hi, I'm going to perform some movements for us so we can understand the various movements we can do in the body. I'm going to begin with abduction and adduction. Abduction is away from the body. Adduction is back towards the body. I can also do that at the hip joint with abduction and adduction. Next is flexion and extension. Flexion decreases the joint angle. Extension increases the joint angle. Flexion can also be done forward at a ball and socket joint. Extension is backwards at that ball and socket joint. I can also flex my vertebral column or extend my vertebral column. And I can even laterally flex my vertebral column. Next, I'm going to do rotation. I can turn my head to the left or bring it back to center. There are special cases of rotation at the ball and socket joints. I'm going to flex my elbow so we can see this easier. I'm going to do lateral rotation where I rotate my humerus away from the front towards the lateral side. And then here I'm going to do medial rotation. That's even easier at the coxal joint or hip joint, with lateral rotation causing my toes to point away from my body and medial rotation bringing them back. My next movements will be at the shoulder. I have elevation and depression. I can also do protraction forward and retraction back. Now, all four of those movements I just did can also be done at the mandible, just not while I'm talking. Now, we also have a special case of rotation where I begin with my palm facing forward in what we call the supine position. And as I rotate, spinning here primarily at this proximal radial ulnar joint, I'm going to do pronation to cause my palm to face backwards. Supination will bring it back towards the anatomical position with the palm facing forward. If I hold my hand up like this, in the flexed position, I can hold sup in my supine hand, but if I pronate, I will pour it out. If I supinate, I can again hold sup. The other movements we have are going to be down at the feet. Inversion will bring the sole of my foot or plantar surface of my foot towards my other foot. Eversion will force that away. I also have plantar flexion, where I stand up on my toes, or we say elevate the heel, and dorsiflexion, where I elevate the dorsal side of the foot and toes. I do have one more compound movement to do. Circumduction is a combination of abduction, adduction, flexion, and extension, done primarily at ball and socket joints. It makes a cone. It can also be done at condyloid joints like this metacarpal phalangeal joint.